Welcome, weary travelers of the dusk. I'm the weaver of whispers, here to spin a thread of stories to ease you into slumber. I know this video is your lantern for the night, so before we wander further, tap a like and join my quiet company with a subscription. Where are you tonight, and what time hums in your corner of the world? Sink into your pillows, breathe deep, and let the journey begin. The Song in the Wires. Leo had never minded solitude. After a decade in Phoenix's heat and hustle, working construction, he craved something quieter. So when a job opened at a radio relay station in northern Nevada, middle of nowhere, just him and the equipment, he took it. The station sat on a scrubby plateau, a squat concrete box ringed by towering antennas, humming with signals for towns hours away. He drove up in March, his truck kicking dust, the sky wide and cloudless. Peace, he said, unloading gear, books, a guitar, enough canned food for months. The gig was simple. Monitor the relays, tweak the dials, report outages. He lived in a bunk room, cot, sink, a window facing endless sagebrush. Days were routine, coffee at dawn, checking meters, strumming chords at dusk. The antennas sang faintly, a buzz of static and wind, but it soothed him. Nights were still, stars sharp, the only sounds his breathing and the equipment's drone. Better than traffic, he'd mutter, settling in, a man alone, but content. The song started on his fifth night. He was reading, a battered sci-fi paperback, when a melody slipped through the walls, soft and lilting, like a lullaby played on warped strings. He set the book down, ears pricking. It came from the control room. He shuffled in, boots scuffing, the panels glowing green. The tune danced over the static, high, then low, a thread weaving through the hiss. Weird, he said, twisting knobs. It stopped, the relays clicking back to normal. He shrugged, interference maybe, and went to bed. Morning erased it. He checked the logs. No glitches, no signals off-band. Mind playing tricks, he told himself, sipping coffee, the desert stretching silent outside. But that night, it returned, clearer, a violin's wail bending into a hum, looping like a broken record. He traced it to the main antenna feed, the sound pulsing through the speakers. He cut the audio, expecting silence. The song played on, faint, but stubborn, vibrating the air. What the hell, he muttered, unplugging the console. It stopped, finally, and he slept, uneasy. The tune stuck in his head. The third night, it wasn't just sound. He woke to it, 2:14 a.m., the melody louder, curling through the bunk room. He stumbled up, groggy, and saw them, shapes in the window, faint against the glass, swaying like dancers caught in a breeze. He blinked. They were gone, just stars and scrub. The song swelled, tugging at him, and he followed it outside, barefoot on cold dirt. The antennas loomed, their wires trembling, the tune pouring from them, a chorus now, voices blending, wordless but alive. He reported it the next day, radioing base in Elko. Getting interference, he said, voice steady. Music, weird stuff. The tech, Marla, laughed. Desert's lonely, your brain's making tunes. Run diagnostics. He did. Circuits clean, signals steady, no bleed. Told you, Marla crackled back. But that evening the song returned, stronger, insistent, threading through the wires. He stood outside, watching. The shapes flickered again, taller, swaying by the antennas, their edges smudged like smoke. Not my brain, he whispered, heart thudding. He stayed up after that, coffee his crutch, the song a nightly guest. It shifted, sometimes a lone wail, sometimes a dozen voices, always mournful, pulling at him. The shapes grew bolder, hovering by the door, drifting past windows, never solid, but always there. He taped the glass, blocking them, but the melody slipped through. Under the cot, in the sink's drip, a hum he couldn't escape. Leave me alone, he growled, strumming his guitar loud to drown it. but the strings buzzed back, echoing the tune. A week in, he found the logbook, tucked in a drawer, pages yellowed, entries from past keepers. June '89, one read. Heard singing, thought it was wind, keeps coming. Another, '93. Shapes outside, moving with the sound, don't like it. The last, '04, shaky. They're in the wires, calling me, quitting tomorrow. Leo's gut twisted. The guy before him, Jim, left sudden, no reason given. He radioed Marla, voice tight. Ever hear of music here? She paused. Old stories, nothing real. You okay? He lied. Fine. But the book burned in his hands. The song changed. His name wove in. Leo, Leo, soft as a whisper, woven into the hum. He recorded it. Mic by the antenna feed. Playback gave static. Then his voice, not the songs, saying, I hear you. He hadn't spoken. No, he rasped, smashing the tape, shards scattering. The shapes pressed closer that night. Dozens, circling the station, their hum shaking the walls. He locked the door, wedged a chair under it, but the wires sang louder. Leo, come out. A plea and a command. He searched the plateau. Daylight, shotgun from the truck, looking for answers. The antennas stood clean. No nests, no faults, but the ground near one buzzed. Faint, like a hive. He dug, shovel-biting dirt, sweat stinging his eyes. 6 inches down, he hit metal. A box, rusted, sealed with wire. Inside, bones, small, brittle, a child's maybe, and a locket, engraved EL 1872. The song flared, sharp in his skull, and he dropped it, dirt flying. The shapes rose, daylight now, swaying where he stood, humming his name. Marla didn't laugh when he called. Found bones, he said, panting. Something's here. She went quiet. Stay put, I'm sending help. But the truck wouldn't start. Engine dead, battery cold. Night fell, the song a roar, hundreds of voices. Leo, come out. The wires glowing faint, trembling. The shapes filled the windows, pressed the door. Their hum, a weight crushing his chest. He grabbed the shotgun, shouting, back off! A blast through the glass, shattering nothing, the song unbroken. He burned the locket. Fire pit outside, gasoline stinging his nose, flames licking high. The song screamed, high, pain, then dulled, the shapes thinning. Go, he hissed, ash swirling, but the hum lingered, wounded, waiting. He radioed Marla, no answer, static swallowing her voice. The station shook, wires snapping, sparks raining, and he ran, shotgun slung into the desert, sagebrush clawing his legs. The song chased him, faint but alive. Leo, stay, a thread in the wind. He hid in a dry wash, dawn breaking, the station a speck behind. The hum faded, shapes gone, silence pressing in. A truck rumbled up. Marla, with a ranger, grim-faced. You're a mess, she said, eyeing the gun, the dirt. He spilled it. Bones, voices, wires. The ranger dug where he pointed. Box gone, just a hole, empty. Animals maybe, he grunted, but his eyes flicked to the antennas, still buzzing soft. Let's go, Marla urged, pulling Leo to the truck. They towed his rig, left the station locked, no replacement sent. Leo crashed in Elko, motel, then a rental, city noise his shield. He quit, took bar shifts, avoided silence, the song a scar in his mind. Months later, Marla called. Checked records, settler kid, Eliza Lang, vanished there, 1872. Family strung wires, early telegraph, never found her. Leo's throat closed. She's still there, he rasped, hanging up, the hum itching his ears. He moved south, Vegas, then Tucson, chasing heat, crowds, anything loud. But it followed, faint, in power lines, a hum at dusk. Leo, come back. He burned his guitar, smashed radios, lived unplugged. But the wires found him. Streetlights buzzing, outlets singing soft. One night, in a blackout, it roared. His name, clear, from the walls. He grabbed a knife, slashing air, screaming, stop! The power snapped on, silence falling. But his hands shook, bloodied from the grip. A year later, he vanished. His landlord found the rental, knife on the floor, walls scratched. I hear her. The station's empty now. Relays dead, wires cut. But hikers hear it. A song in the wind, soft and sad. Names woven in. Marla won't go near. She dreams of shapes, swaying, calling her too. And in the desert, the antennas stand, rusting, humming a tune no one can silence, waiting for the next voice to join. Noah cursed. Too late. The ticking now a roar. Noah, come in, from every corner. He smashed the panel again. Axe this time, wood flying. Gears spilling out, spinning wild. A shaft dropped below. Stone steps spiraling down. The scrape echoing up. He tied a rope, flashlight trembling, and descended. Walls tight, air stale, ticks deafening. The chamber was small, stone wet, a skeleton slump, bones clutching a clock, hands frozen at 147. Noah. It rasped. Not the bones, the walls. The gears whirring, alive. He climbed back, rope burning, the voice chasing. Stay, stay! He burned it. Gas from the shed, flames licking the hearth, gears melting, the cabin choking smoke. The ticks screamed, high, then low, then stopped, silence crashing in. He slept outside, truck bed, dawn cold and gray. The fire died, hearth blackened, no sound but wind. He packed, fast, sloppy, leaving the cabin charred, quiet, his dad's warning ash. Duluth took him, motel, then a rental. City hum his shield. Months passed, new job barista, ticking clocks banned from his life. Then a call, realtor chipper, cabin sold. Couple loves it, fixing the hearth. Noah's gut sank. He hung up, hands cold, the rhythm itching his skull. A letter came. No sender, Duluth postmark. Photo inside. Cabin rebuilt, hearth gleaming. A shadow by the wall. Clock hands at 147. Noah, scrawled on back. Ink fresh. He burned it, fire trembling. But that night the ticks returned. Faint in his walls, calling him home. The new owners lasted weeks. Neighbors found the cabin. Doors locked, hearth cracked, a hole where the panel was. Bones gone, gears too, just a note. It's still here. Noah moved, south then west, chasing noise, clocks out of reach. But it follows, ticks in pipes, thuds in dreams, a scrape he can't unhear. And in the pines, the cabin waits, hollow, ticking. A rhythm no fire can kill. The stain in the stone reeve had spent his life chasing edges, places where cities faded and the wild took over. A geologist by trade, he'd mapped quarries in Montana, caves in Kentucky, fault lines in California, always drawn to the earth's raw bones. At 39, divorced and restless, he leapt at a contract in eastern Wyoming, a survey gig for a mining firm, solo, out past the Black Hills. The site was a plateau, flat and wind-scoured, dotted with sage and rimmed by cliffs of pale limestone. He arrived in July, his Jeep loaded with gear, tents, picks, notebooks, the sun a white blaze overhead. The company had mailed coordinates, a topo map, and a terse note. Check the outcrop, report anomalies. He pitched camp by a jut of rock, the silence vast, and thought, this is mine. The first week was textbook. He hammered samples, chalky slabs veined with quartz, logged strata, sketched the cliff's weathered faces. The plateau stretched empty, no roads, no cell signal, just him and the stone. Days burned hot, nights cooled sharp, stars crowding the sky. He cooked over a propane stove, beans, jerky coffee, his only company the wind's low moan and the occasional hawk circling high. The outcrop loomed nearby, a jagged spine of limestone, its base pocked with fissures. He liked it, the solitude, the rhythm, the earth telling its slow story. Then he saw the stain. It was late afternoon, day 6, the sun dipping low. He was chipping at the outcrop, dust coating his gloves, when he noticed it, a dark patch, irregular, about the size of a dinner plate, sunk into the rock's face. Not lichen, not mineral, too smooth, too deep, like ink soaked into bone. He brushed it. His fingers came away dry, faintly warm. Huh, he grunted, snapping a photo, the stain swallowing light. He marked it in his log, unidentified discoloration, sample pending, and moved on, the wind picking up, tugging at his hat. That night, he dreamed of it. A black pool spreading, silent, endless, his hands sinking in. Morning dulled the unease. He chipped a fragment near the stain. Limestone, normal, no oddities under his lens. Weathering, he decided, sipping coffee, the plateau waking around him. But that day, splitting slabs, he found another, smaller, fist-sized, on a boulder 10 yards off. Then a third, faint, near camp, etched into a shelf of rock. He mapped them, dots on his grid, their edges too clean for nature. Leachate, he wondered, though no water stained the ground. He photographed each, the stains staring back, and felt a prickle. Watched, though the land lay bare. The dreams sharpened. Night after night he woke sweating. Black pools in his tent, his boots, his lungs, spreading slow and sure. By day 9, he heard it. A hum, low and steady like a diesel engine miles off, rising from the outcrop. He pressed his ear to the stone. It buzzed, faint but real, warm against his cheek. Vibration, he logged. Source unknown. He hammered deeper, chiseling chunks. The hum grew, the stains unchanged, their heat seeping into his tools. He radioed base, static crackling. Found something odd, sending pics. But the reply was garbled. Stay on task. The hum turned to whispers. By week 2, he was eating, spoon halfway up, when it hit. A murmur, wordless, threading through the stone. He dropped the can, beans spilling, and traced it. Outcrop boulders, cliff base, all humming, all stained. The sound a chorus without shape. He recorded it, mic pressed to rock. Playback gave wind, then voices, soft, layered. Here, not his. Fault gas, he muttered, though the air stayed clean. No sulfur, no methane. He slept with the radio on, static his shield. But the whispers slipped through. Reeve, here. His name, a needle in the noise. The stains spread, slow, deliberate, blooming overnight. Day 12, he woke to 5 more. 2 on the outcrop, 3 near camp, larger, darker, their heat pulsing. He chipped around one. The rock crumbled, brittle, revealing a vein, black, glossy, threading deeper. Organic? He wrote, scraping a sample, dry, odorless, warm as skin. The whispers grew, day and night now, circling him. Reeve, look here. A pull he couldn't shake. He stopped eating much, jerky stuck in his throat. The plateau shrinking, the stains a net closing in. He found the journal on day 15, digging near the cliff, proving a hunch. The pick hit wood. A box, rotted, buried shallow. Inside, pages, crisp, impossibly preserved. A miner's log, 1867. J. Harrow, it read. Prospector, found the black, moves, hums, don't trust it. Later, stains everywhere, talking now, know me, dug too deep. The last entry scrawled, it's in the rock, under us, won't let go, leaving. Reeve's hands shook. Harrow's camp matched his, same outcrop, same cliffs. He burned the pages, ash swirling, but the whispers laughed. Reeve, stay, look. The heat rose, day 18. The stains glowed faint, a dull red at dusk, their hum a drone shaking his tent. He mapped dozens, 50, 60, spreading like rock, some merging, pooling black across the stone. He cut one open, axe biting deep. The vein pulsed, oozing nothing, just heat and a scream, high, inhuman, echoing off the cliffs. What are you? He shouted, the whispers answering. Here, Reeve, here, a chant from below. He radioed again. Something's alive here, evac me. Static roared back. No words, just his voice. Warp, stay, look. Sleep fled, eyes raw, hands blistered, the stains his world. Day 20 he saw them, shapes in the heat, rising from the black. Tall, vague, shimmering like mirages, swaying where the hum was thickest. Breathe. They buzzed, arms reaching, dissolving when he swung the pick. He ran, tent to cliff, cliff to camp, shapes trailing, silent but heavy, their heat on his neck. Not real, he gasped, but the stains pulsed, redder, the whispers a roar. Look down, Reeve, look down, pulling him to the outcrop's edge. He dug, day 22, frantic, axe and shovel tearing stone. The hum guided him, deeper, hotter, the stains merging overhead, a canopy of black. 6 feet down he hit it, a slab, smooth, warm, etched with lines, circles, spirals, older than the limestone, older than anything. The whispers surged. Reeve, open, said, look. The slab cracked, a hollow ringing out. He shone the light, a chamber vast, walls glistening, stains bleeding from every seam, shapes swirling in the dark. Here, they sang. Here, a chorus of hunger, endless and deep. He climbed out, rope fraying, lungs burning, the shapes pressing close, heat choking him. He piled rocks, slabs, dirt, anything, sealing the hole, the hum raging below. Reeve, come back. The jeep started, barely, engine coughing. He floored it, dust billowing, the plateau shrinking behind. The stains followed, faint on the dash, the wheel, a whisper in the wind. Look, Reeve, look. He crashed in Casper. Motel, whiskey, no sleep. The hum a scar in his bones. He reported it, email, photos, samples. Base skeptical, stress, heat stroke, they typed back. He sent the black vein, lab results. Unknown compound, thermally active, non-organic. They shut the site, fenced it, geological hazard. But Reeve quit, moved to Boise, city noise his armor. The stains lingered, dreams of black pools, whispers in traffic. Reeve here, soft but sure. A package came, Wyoming postmark, no name, rock shard, stained, warm. A note, you saw. He burned it, fire pit, gasoline, the shard glowing red before cracking, the hum faint, persistent in his walls, his breath. He fled, coast, then mountains, chasing cold, silence broken by it. Look down, a tick in his pulse. The plateau's locked now, signs warn unstable ground, but miners hear it. A hum, a whisper, shapes in the dusk, reaching from the stone. And Reeve, wherever he runs, feels it, the stain, alive, endless, calling him to look again. And so, travelers of the dusk, the last thread of our tale unravels into the night. The whispers fade, weaving themselves into the fabric of your dreams. Rest now, cradled by the silence, as the lantern dims and the world softens. Sleep deeply, my friends, until our paths cross again in another story. Good night.